In a sure sign that things are starting to get back to normal, I'm back in Los Angeles in June taking a look at a bunch of video games that are going to be heading our way throughout the rest of the year. I'm at Summer Game Fest Play Days. This is the first of its kind. It's a hands-on event that's been put together by Jeff Keighley and the folks at I Am 8-Bit, giving journalists like myself and a bunch of other content creators from across the universe a chance to converge here in LA and get some hands-on time with indie titles and some bigger releases like Sonic Frontiers and Street Fighter 6. So there is a lot to talk about, and I got to tell you, it's smaller scale. It's definitely, first steps kind of back to live events in Los Angeles. It's not E3, but it's a lot of fun, and it feels really good to be surrounded by a bunch of my peers and to enjoy this celebration of all of these games coming our way. So let's get inside and take a look at Summer Game Fest Play Days.
A little to the left is a cozy puzzle game where you organize household objects into particular arrangements. And every now and then there's a cat that kind of lurks around the periphery that comes in and kind of foils your nicely organized things, adds a little bit of a randomized element to it. A lot of it actually comes from our daily lives. So we find that in our house we have lots of collections. We tend to be very kind of particular in how we arrange the things in our home. And so we were taking inspiration from what we were doing daily.
From the genesis of the game in itself, going from a very small scope to being discovered by Microsoft to a Netflix series, we can't put it into words, and we're just so grateful to the fans for making this happen. We are still animating the entire game on paper. We still ink the entire game on paper. All the backgrounds are watercolor paintings. It doesn't touch digital means until the coloring process. And so that hasn't changed, but in DLC, the only thing that has changed is a lot. In terms of the amount of animation, I think that fans and players are going to really notice a difference. We've upped our game, we've pushed the boundaries. Our success in the core game enabled us to do this. And so we wanted to give fans something that they're going to love, they're going to hopefully enjoy it, and something that we're very, very proud of. But we definitely pushed our limits in terms of what we can do with animation. I think it'll be noticeable, for sure.
My name's Danny Gray. I'm a Chief Creative Officer and Game Director at Us2 Games. Previously known for things like Monument Valley and Assemble with Care, and recently Alborough Wildlife Adventure as well. So the game we're showing today is Desta: The Memories Between. It's a little bit of a mix of something like turn-based tactics with dodgeball, a little bit roguelike, and the ability to explore your dreams and memories every night. We're very much known for touchscreen games, and the reason for that is related to the types of people we want to make games for. I think there's enough depth, there's enough tactics in Desta, which is why we're bringing it to console and PC as well. We think it's perfect for those audiences. But we also think it's perfect for people who would never usually play tactics games, right? So because of that, touchscreen devices are the perfect way to deliver that game to those people.
It's called Outriders World Slayer. What we did is actually, we looked at everything that people liked about the original game, and we really honed in on that, and we expanded on that, and we basically turned the knob to 11 on everything. So we have a brand new story campaign that players can enjoy with a pretty nasty villain called Ereshkigal. She's the center, all of that. And then we have a brand new M game called The Trials of Tarja Kratar, which is something completely new and I hope players will really enjoy.
We're making Nightingale, our shared world survival crafting game set in our own Victorian-era Gaslamp fantasy universe. Nightingale does have magic, and you as players that playing the Realm Walkers, you will get to access that magic. Some of it manifests itself in the realm cards you'll play, so you go to a portal and you magically open it with realm cards. Some will manifest itself in combat and those kind of things, so you'll have powers and abilities that you imbue into your gear and such, and some of it will come out in new interesting ways too.
We've built Escape Academy, which is a co-op escape room adventure game set at the titular Escape Academy, where every classroom is an escape room, and that's how you learn how to become the world's greatest escapist.
When we started Point Crew Games, we were actually building real-world escape rooms and arcade machines. But when the pandemic started, that wasn't going to work out for us much longer, and we knew we needed to make a pivot. So we decided to take kind of the specialization, our skills in that field, and pivot and make a video game that brought the co-op escape room experience home.
So with this new drive system, there's actually 5 different moves that can be produced from the same system. This will allow players to kind of express their own unique fighting style by kind of strategically choosing what types of moves they want to perform from this one specific system. So even if it's 2 different Ryu players fighting against each other, they may have completely different strategies based on what they feel comfortable with in terms of the usage of the system. In terms of the whole paint splatter aesthetics and like the hip-hop vibe, that was something that Nakayama-san really felt strongly about from like the very early stages of planning this project. Whether it's like hip-hop music or like hip-hop street culture and fashion, that was just something that had a very strong affinity to the franchise itself and something that he definitely wanted to incorporate into Street Fighter 6. In terms of the whole like muscular animations and whatnot, the character models, that was also something that Nakayama-san and the art director of Street Fighter 6 were talking about for a long time. And in order to accomplish that, they were able to ask the RE Engine team to specifically kind of customize the engine so that this can be possible specifically for Street Fighter 6. So that's definitely like a huge accomplishment for the engine.